Hi, today we will be talking about a hobby that I've not talked about at all on this channel so far, Rubik's Cubes. Today I will be showing my entire cube collection. Now, I don't necessarily have the biggest cube collection unlike some other people on YouTube with like 200 or 300 plus cubes, but the ones I have are near and dear to my heart. We're going to have 5 different categories: Classic, Classic Plus, Special, Goofy, and Miscellaneous. I'm gonna go through all the cubes, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's go. The first cube I ever learned how to solve, the classic 3x3. I solved this probably, gosh, what was it, 5 years ago? Just watching some tutorial on YouTube. And then after I solved this one, my interest kind of exploded. I'm like, holy crap, I can do it. Let me try to do all these other ones. It's actually not even stickered correctly. Like, white is supposed to be opposite yellow, but on this cube it's opposite blue. And the same as, green is opposite yellow when it should be green opposite blue. So you just flip green and blue and you actually have it right. But yeah, this is the first one I ever got. I don't solve it all that often anymore, it doesn't turn that great. And I remember taking this apart and loosening all the tensions and putting Vaseline or whatever types of speed oils I could to try to make it turn faster. But yes. First one I ever got. The second 3x3. This speed cube I bought. I don't even know the brand. And this one I went crazy on. I remember I lubed this one up too. I loosened all the springs. Basically did whatever I could to make it as fast as possible. Even though I wasn't solving it nearly fast enough to do that. And actually I don't solve any of the cubes very fast. I can probably solve a 3x3 if I'm really trying in 45 seconds. It's nowhere near tournament speeds, right? Those people are doing it sub 10 minutes, sub 10 seconds, which is nuts. Then we go into these tiny little guys right here. I don't know if I've ever tried to solve one of these little guys. Look at these two colors. They are way too similar. It's ridiculous. It's more just a thing to have in your collection than actually go through and solve. I do have a second little tiny guy here, and this is actually part of my dad's. He had a couple turning puzzles. That's kind of how I got into it. I think he had maybe 4 or 5, and this was one of them, along with that original Rubik's Cube you have. Once again, I'm not solving this regularly, but it's just kind of fun to have. Alright, and the final one in the classic category is carbon fiber 3x3. Now, this is my fastest 3x3 that I have. I probably bought this one for $3 online, which is really cool. Kind of wish the carbon fiber actually wasn't there because then you could identify the colors so much better. But I mean, I'm not going to go peel off all of the sticker carbon fiber. That's just, that's whack. I'm not going to do that. That makes up the last of my 3x3 puzzles. Now we're on to the Classic Plus category. First up, I have this classic Rubik's 2x2. Oh yeah, look at that puppy. I think this was the second puzzle I learned after solving the 3x3. I got this one, and I was actually pretty stoked because it was one of the first cubes I was able to do without looking up tutorials. I guess it was because it was the second one I had. The 2x2 just uses 3x3 methods and just less of them because you get to skip all the steps, right? You only have corners on this cube. So there's my classic 2x2 Rubik's Cube. Not a lot to say about this puzzle here. Next up, we have another 2x2. This is a fast one right here. Got this one online for, I think I got this one for $5 online, actually. I remember, I think it was 9th grade. Me and my friends were in this programming club at school, and we tried to make a Lego robot that would solve 2x2 Rubik's Cubes. And we had this whole system that would flip the cube around, and it was able to turn one slice at a time. And we did it with this puzzle right here. But we never could get the color sensor to work with our programming, so we kind of ended up scrapping the idea. But nevertheless, this is the puzzle we used for that, and it was a pretty fun challenge for us to at least attempt, I guess. Good recommendation for a second cube, I think. I think if people want to start out solving Rubik's Cubes, they should just bite the bullet and figure out how to solve the 3x3, because if you can solve the 3x3, you have a great start on basically every other puzzle that's out there. But yeah, that is the 2x2 speed cube. Next up in the Classic Plus category, we have the 4x4. Oh yeah, you guessed it. This is actually a stickerless 4x4, and my god, doesn't that look clean. Woo! Here's the thing. I really like solving the 4x4 because it's a fun intermediate challenge, I would say, being a little more difficult than the 3x3. But the part that sucks is the opportunity for parity. Parity is essentially where you have almost solve the entire cube, but then you get to extra algorithms you have to do at the end. And these algorithms can be really long. So it's a huge series of moves that you have to memorize. There's one of them that I just don't have memorized. I just can't be bothered to memorize it. So every time I get that, I have to re-look up I have to re-look up the algorithm every time I want to do this cube. Alright, moving on. The Rubik's Cube Professor, I think it's called. It's the 5x5 Rubik's Cube. This is a pretty fun one to solve. I like solving the classic-ish cubes, where it's just kind of like the 3x3 or the 4x4 or the 5x5, or just increases like that. They're not so much more difficult, but they take a couple more algorithms and quite a bit more time, actually. But I don't solve this one all that much, just because, I don't know, regular Rubik's brand cubes are so loud, like you can probably hear that, and it doesn't turn all that great, but it's still a fun one to solve. I just don't do it that often. Alright, the last one in the Classic Plus category, almost forgot my categories there, is the 7x7 Rubik's Cube. This is one of my favorites I have. It looks so nice. Look at that stickerless cube. I'm kind of a sucker for the stickerless cubes. I don't know what it is. And this one turns like a beauty. But yeah, like I said, this is one of my favorites to solve because it takes a lot of stuff from the 3x3 and a lot of intuitive solving, which is just kind of solving without algorithms that you just kind of make up in your head and figure out where to put pieces. But it does take me a while. It takes me a while. Solving this is probably like a 20-minute process, maybe 15 if I'm booking it. Alright, that rounds out the Classic Plus category. The first one in the special category is the Void Cube. Oh yeah, look at that. This is basically a regular 3x3 with the centers punched out. It solves pretty much how you think it would, just like a regular 3x3. The only thing that's really different is at the end there's an opportunity for parity, which I don't really know the algorithm for, so I kind of just mix it up and start from scratch, which isn't the most efficient way to do it, but it's the only way I know how. The only thing I do not like about this cube is how stiff it is at turning. Like, even if the slices are a little bit off, this guy's not gonna turn. Zero corner cutting, backward or forward. It's crazy. Alright, next up in the special category is... oh, this squeaky chair is this cube. The twisted 3x3? I don't know what it's called. Yeah, it's basically like a regular 3x3, except it looks a little funky and like the centers can turn. This one's fun and it looks kind of strange when it's all scrambled up. It always is kind of surprising for people who are not like cubers. They're like, what the heck is that weird looking spiral cube? Alright, next up is the Scube. Oh yeah. Okay, as you can see, this one's not solved. I constantly forget how to solve this one. It's like so easy to do. It's so easy, guys. But I constantly forget how to solve it. I like how this one sounds. Listen to how this one sounds. Oh crap. Listen to how this one sounds. Yeah. It has like these ball bearings that fit into these sockets so that clicks together all nice, and I think it's actually magnetized in there too. But yeah, the Scube is actually a pretty easy puzzle to learn how to solve. You need one algorithm that is only 4 moves long. It's 4 moves long, and you do it like 2 times. The only part that's kind of difficult is learning how the Scube works, because instead of turning on its edges, it turns on its corners, which makes it pretty difficult to figure out intuitive moves. But once you kind of get the grasp of it like that, then solving the rest of the cube becomes pretty simple. So that's the Scube. And we have one more in our special category. Pyraminx. Oh yeah, look at this Pyraminx. The Pyraminx is not a super difficult puzzle. It's probably somewhere between a 2x2 and a 3x3 in difficulty. I would recommend this one as like a third cube to try to solve for a new cuber. Figure out the 3x3, then they do the 2x2, and finally come on to this Pyraminx because it's so much more different than anything else you've seen so far. But it's not super tough. I've never looked up a tutorial on how to do the Pyraminx. I feel like I've just randomly stumbled upon the solution every time. Because I know I mix it up, right? And then I go, oh crap, I'm stuck. I can't figure out how to solve it. I've solved the bottom and I can't figure out how to solve the rest. And then I try for like a minute more. And then I figure out how to do it. But yeah, this one's fun. I like the fun pyramid shape. Throws people off. Cool puzzle. And that wraps up our special category. Now is on to our goofy category. Now it's getting into like the tougher stuff where it takes you a while to learn. I guess the 7x7 is pretty tough, but a lot of these cubes are more difficult and, like I said, goofy. This is the Megaminx. As you can see, I do not have this one completely solved. I know how to solve it, but I don't like solving this one as much. I like how the stickers look and stand out against the black. But I kind of ruined some of them because this was another one of the cubes that I like took apart and put Vaseline in and messed with the screws so I can make it turn better. Because this one, before I messed with it, this one turned like trash. This one was awful. But yeah, this is a cool one to solve. It is a 12-sided shape right here. You have 5 edge pieces per face, 5 corner pieces per face. It's a really fun one to solve, except it's going to take you a while. And a lot of it is monotonous, but I don't know. It's kind of a nice time killer. So I like this one in that regard. And this was another one that was actually in my dad's collection that I didn't buy. And I remember before I learned how to solve the 3x3, I'd look at this one and I'm like, that's impossible. Nobody in the world can solve that weird looking thing. So that's that one. Next we have my main Megaminx, which is this guy right here. Oh yeah, this one turns like a dream. Woo! You can hardly even hear that noise. I like solving this one. As I said, it's kind of a monotonous one, but I don't know, it's fun to just kind of aimlessly do while you're sitting in a Zoom class or something like that, you know? Yeah, not a lot to say about this second Megaminx, except for it's a steal on Cubicle. It's crazy. It's nuts. Buy that thing for $12 or something. God, what's the name of this category? Goofy. The third Goofy cube is the square one. Ah, yes, the square one. As you can see, this is not solved. At one point, I did know how to solve it. And I had all my algorithms laid out. I've long since forgotten how to solve this cube. And I don't really feel like learning it again. I don't know. This one wasn't all that fun for me. All the algorithms are really kind of obnoxious to learn, because it can do this strange thing where it turns down the center. And it can shift, of course, so it doesn't even look like a cube in the end. Also, I've lost a cap, as you can see, right there. When I first really got into cubing, I bought this one. And this one I just found at a store. I think I bought it at like a Barnes & Noble in like one of those weird sections. You probably find one of these in the weird sections. But yeah, that is the square one. Probably the most complex cube I actually know how to solve. Mostly from memory, is the X cube. Oh yeah, look at that puppy. That's a beast right there. It's got a 3x3 in the center, and it's got all these little edges out here that stick out. This one's really cool. Like, it does this transforming thing. You can turn it on the edge and turn it again, and all these insides are exposed, and it continues to turn and get more confusing, and it's horrible. I bought this one at the same time I bought this, the square one. It was actually just this year that I finally took the time, and I was like, I'm going to figure out how to solve that thing, and I did. So this is a really cool one. Just the shape alone is crazy. And the fact that it can shape shift also. Probably top three cubes I have. This one right here. This is my favorite puzzle to solve, like right now. Probably not of all time, but right now, this is my favorite one I know how to solve. I can do this one. No tutorials needed. I got everything right up here. Everything I need is right up here. It is the windmill cube. From the outset, it kind of looks like a regular 3x3. You know, it's just kind of a cube. But it actually, if you look at the top there, it looks all crazy like that. And it turns and becomes kind of like a windmill. So I guess that's why they named it that. Yeah, wow, DJ. Good observation. This one is buttery smooth. This turns like a dream. Like, holy crap. Nice, beautiful stickerless finish. I love that. But yeah, this one's really fun to solve. Like, it's not as brain dead as solving the 3x3 is for me now, because I can kind of just coast through one of those. But this one I have to think about just like a little bit more, which is really fun. It looks nuts when it's scrambled. You're like, what the heck is that? Just a ball of gunk glued together. So yeah, one of my favorites to solve as of now. Add that to the mountain collection back here. That wraps up the special category. Now we are on to the final three, which are the miscellaneous category. Number one. This is Very different from everything else we've seen so far. It's kind of like a slide puzzle and a turny puzzle combined. Like a slide puzzle and a turny puzzle had a baby, and this is the child. I used to know how to solve these. I haven't messed with them in a long time. These last 3 were all part of my dad's collection before I kind of took it over, I guess. I don't remember much about solving this one, but I can't believe it's too difficult, right? It's kind of like a side puzzle with a little added little twist. That's that one. Next up in the miscellaneous category is this guy right here. Very similar. I wish I knew the names for any of these in the miscellaneous, but I don't. I don't. Same vibe. Turn the thing. Slide the slide. Except this time you have specific centerpieces and edge pieces, which is kind of cool. And I should try to solve these few just to see if I can actually do it. And that brings us to the final cube in the miscellaneous category and the final cube of my entire collection. This weird ball. Like, look at that weird... I have never once solved this. I've never even given it a fair college try. You know, I've just seen it and I'm like, that thing is weird. It's always just kind of sat in the corner of the collection. Like, I don't even know what a solved state is supposed to look like. Anyways, that wraps up my puzzle collection. Let me count. And that wraps up my puzzle collection. All 22 puzzles. If you haven't tried puzzle solving, I encourage you to give it a shot. It's pretty fun. As you can see, I've spent a lot of time. not that much money, actually. It's fun to do. Maybe I'll make some more videos solving stuff in the future. I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun to show off all the cool little puzzles I have. So yeah. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys next Friday. It's hot in this room.